Once upon a time, in ancient Egypt, there was a brilliant inventor named Jacob. He was known throughout the land for his incredible creations, from simple machines that made farming easier, to complex systems that controlled the flow of water for irrigation. He was a visionary and had a deep understanding of the natural forces that surrounded him. Despite his many accomplishments, Jacob felt unappreciated by the pharaoh and his court. They saw his inventions as mere curiosities and did not fully understand the potential they held. Jacob knew that his inventions could change the world, but he was met with resistance and skepticism every time he presented them. It was as if the pharaoh and his court were stuck in their ways, unable to see the possibilities that lay before them. Determined to prove his worth, Jacob set out to create something truly remarkable. He spent years researching and experimenting, studying the movement of the sun and the stars, the flow of water and the patterns of the wind. He spent countless hours in the desert, studying the way the sand dunes shifted and how the sun heated the air. He was determined to find a way to harness the power of the sun. After many long years, Jacob succeeded in creating the first prototype machine that could harness the power of the sun. The machine was a series of mirrors that reflected sunlight onto a central point, where it was then used to heat water and create steam. This steam powered a turbine, which in turn powered a generator. The result was a source of clean, renewable energy that could be used to power the kingdom's cities and farms. With this invention, Jacob believed he could change the world. He knew that the sun was a powerful and abundant source of energy, and that if he could harness it, he could provide power to the people and lift them out of poverty. He could light the cities and power the farms, and in doing so, he could change the world. But, despite its incredible potential, Jacob's invention was met with skepticism and ridicule by the pharaoh and his court. They saw it as nothing more than a toy, and refused to invest in its development. They were convinced that the traditional methods of energy production, such as burning wood or animal dung, were the only viable options. Jacob tried to explain that his invention was a sustainable and renewable source of energy, but the pharaoh and his court were not heartbroken and feeling unappreciated. Jacob packed up his invention and set out to find a civilization that would appreciate his work. He traveled far and wide, searching for a culture that would understand the value of his invention and see the potential it held. He encountered many cultures, but none of them seemed to have the understanding and vision that he was looking for. Finally, after many long years of travel, Jacob came across a small but advanced civilization that was struggling to find a sustainable source of energy. They were dependent on burning fossil fuels, which were damaging their environment and causing health problems to the people. Jacob saw an opportunity to make a difference. He presented his invention to the leaders of this civilization, and they were amazed by its potential. They welcomed Jacob with open arms and put his invention to use. As Jacob settled into his new home, he continued to improve and refine his invention. He developed new methods for focusing the sunlight and found ways to make the mirrors more durable and efficient. He also worked on ways to store the energy generated by the machine so that it could be used at night or on cloudy days. The civilization was impressed by Jacob's invention and the benefits it brought to their society. They provided him with resources and support to continue his work. In return, Jacob shared his knowledge and expertise with the people, teaching them how to build and maintain the machines. He also shared his understanding of the natural forces that powered the machines and how they could be used to improve their lives. The civilization prospered and the environment was protected, but Jacob's work was not done yet. He had a vision of a world where all people had access to clean, renewable energy, and he was determined to make it a reality. He began to travel again, this time to other civilizations, to share his invention and knowledge. He encountered many cultures. Some of them were willing to listen and adopt his invention, others were not. But Jacob never gave up. He knew that eventually, the world would come to see the value of his invention. Cities were able to expand and become more populous, as there was now a reliable source of energy to power homes and buildings. Factories and industries were able to grow and thrive, as they no longer had to rely on polluting and unsustainable sources of energy. Agriculture also benefited from the invention, as the machines could be used to power irrigation systems and increase crop yields. With the abundance of energy, people's lives improved in many ways. They had more time and resources to devote to education, arts, and science. They were able to improve their living conditions and enjoy a better quality of life. People were able to break free from the cycle of poverty and inequality and achieve greater prosperity and equality for all. Jacob's invention also had a profound impact on the environment. The world became a cleaner and healthier place, as the burning of fossil fuels was phased out. Air and water quality improved, and wildlife was able to thrive once again. Jacob's legacy lived on, and his invention continued to be improved and refined. His name became synonymous with innovation, vision, and determination. His story inspired countless generations, and his invention became an integral part of human civilization. It became the backbone of many societies. And Jacob was finally getting the recognition he deserved, and his name was remembered for centuries to come.